What's up, guys? In this video, a quick recap of Sandhagen versus Vera and an update to the road to $500. Let's go. All right, this road to 500, again, start off with 100. Goal is to reach 500. Once I reach that goal, it will be given to one lucky subscriber. 2 weekends ago, took last week off as we all did in the UFC world, was Sandhagen versus Vera. Didn't live up to the hype. But still, as UFC fans, we watch all UFC cards, especially if you're in these Rainmaker contests. Start off with $106 there. Risk 2341, built a rare lineup with $2341. Ended up being 22% of our bankroll. Lost all of it. Didn't even cash out. I'll explain that in a bit. So we're left with $82.67. Again, this Rainmaker, DFS in general is high variance, especially Rainmakers, where um, you either hit big or you don't. Cashing out's a little more difficult, I find here. Min cashing is a little more difficult in Rainmaker because of so many damn contestants. With that said, let's continue on to what happened in this fight card. So the winning lineup, we had Nate Landwehr, CJ Vergara, Holly Holm, Trevin Giles, and the captain was Corey Sandhagen. This had to do with the rare 25K contest. The lineup I fielded in this contest was my captain was Chidi Njokuano. He didn't win, so mistake number. Well, I wouldn't say mistake, but uh, strike one against us. Your captain didn't win. We had CJ Vergara, who did win and scored pretty well. How much did CJ score? He scored 111, actually second highest scorer on the slate. Strike number two, and you're out. Here was we fielded Manuel Cape, who did not even fight. So a donut there, and basically disqualified us from even min cashing at this point. But Trevin Giles was our second rare, which was a good pick because he did win and he ended up being in the optimal lineup. So it goes to show you that you don't need the just the top fighters, pay up for the top fighters to be optimal. And Lutz, he didn't win, so whatever at that point, we were already done. So with Kate being out, learning lessons here, looking back on it, in the context of the fight card, there wasn't many heavy favorites. Holly Holm and up to Nate Landwehr, they weren't even that great of a favorite. 71% favorite was the highest, and he didn't even win. And there wasn't much inside the distance. Let's call it equity here, inside the distance equity. So what that meant, and it was a small fight card. With that fight dropping out, ended up being 10 fights. So that's a small fight card. Low ceiling. So what that meant is this was going to be a low scoring card, and what that means is you don't need to risk it for the biscuit. You don't need to get these high ceiling potential fighters. You want to shoot for the floor. You want a solid floor. And when you want a solid floor, you're looking at the main event. Main events usually provide you with a solid floor, especially a main event that is not predicted to go inside the distance. It's predicted to go all 5 rounds, uh, take advantage of all those 5 rounds and accumulate these points here. So looking back on it, I should have picked one main event fighter. In this case, ultimately Sandhagen, but at least have my chips in the main event somehow. That's mistake one. I feel like mistake two, since you didn't need such a high ceiling, I should have gone with more of these lower fighters that uh, just pulling off a win would be fine. Uh, I believe they all won with the all underdogs in this range. Won with the exception of Marlon Vera and Parsons. Giles was a good pick here, and it did save a good amount of money as our second rare, so that was pretty nice. Um, but those were the learning lessons here. Small fight card. Prioritize. I'm not saying go for the main event every time, but do prioritize the main event. And if it's a low ceiling fight, don't be afraid to go dig down deeper in those underdogs because just having a win is good enough. You don't have to go for these home run hits like Cheaty. As we know, it was either a first round or bust, and took the risk there, which I feel like was unnecessary. I know it's easier said in retrospect, but that's just a principle there. When it's a low scoring fight card, you don't have to hit home runs. Just hit. I'm trying to relate this to baseball. Try to hit singles. All right, got it. Got that baseball analogy because I don't watch baseball, but I do know a little bit about it. So I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. We will get to that $500. Just believe.